examined the third axiom, we concluded that empowerment is about an incremental suspension of control. With each incremental suspension of control, however, one has to bear a number of variables in mind. And these variables become apparent when one considers a very simple analogy. We like to refer to it as the fishing analogy. We've all heard the rule of thumb that says, don't give a person a fish, teach them how to fish. If we were to take that logic through by extension and ask ourselves, well, what does it mean to empower the person to fish? Clearly, in the first instance, it means more than just giving the person some knowledge. It means to give them things as well. It'll be like a hook, a line, a license to fish, a sinker, a bait, a net, a dam with fish, etc. These things you would call means. In other words, they're like tools. The next thing you'd need to do is you'd need to make the person able to fish. So you need to teach them where to fish, how to fish, why it is important to fish. You'd need to teach them and coach them so they have the ability to fish. Now, in our experience, this is very often where people stop. In other words, when they think through the problem of empowerment, they produce these two categories. It is about giving the person the means and the ability to do what's required of them. However, on careful consideration, it becomes apparent that this isn't enough. For example, if you were dealing with somebody who was particularly lazy, and you gave them all the means that they could conceivably require in order to catch the fish, you give them all the ability they could conceivably require, and then you say to the person, you know, don't worry, I've got a freezer full of fish. If you don't catch a fish, I'll give you one from my freezer. Then the person wouldn't catch the fish anyhow. So basically, the last thing you've got to bring to the party that actually engages the person's will is a kind of bloody-mindedness. It's an ability to say to the person, listen, if you don't catch a fish after this spell, starve. In other words, empowering people means three things and not just two. It means to give people the means to do what's required of them, to make them able to do what's required of them, and to hold them accountable. And if you do not do all three of those things, you do not empower people, you in fact disable them.